stranger slow dance. I've seen happy hour 2-for-1s turn to one-night stands. I've seen neon rebounds and late-night drunk dials. I've seen that Cinderella fairy tale go up in cigarette smoke. I've seen two hearts bet it all and still end up broke. The real thing won't be easy. Yeah, it might take a while, but I want that all-in falling, keep the fire burning like the first time feeling. No matter what, if I'm gonna love somebody like that. Kind of heart, open arms, it's forever and will never ever take it back. If I'm gonna love somebody like that. I still remember Mama walking down the living room stairs, and Daddy saying with a smile, that's my girl right there. They had their share of ups and downs, and I saw the best and the worst and the work and the worth it to get to that all-in falling, keep the fire burning like the first time feeling. No matter what, if I'm gonna love somebody like that. Kind of heart, open arms, it's forever and will never ever take it back. If I'm gonna love somebody like that. I've had some real close calls, a couple diamond ring thoughts, and enough midnight tears to know what love's not. And I want that all-in falling, keep the fire burning like the first time feeling. No matter what, if I'm gonna love somebody like that. Kind of heart, open arms, it's forever and will never ever take it back. If I'm gonna love somebody like that. Somebody like that. Somebody like that. Love somebody like that.
Download the free Stingray Music mobile app.
It's been one of them clock it in, knock it out, clock it out, about to kick off the weekend. There's a stretch of black top, I ain't never seen a cop, so I'm pushing it a little past 10. Pulled a little money from the bank, put it in a tank, shined up the windshield glass. Don't know where the night might lead, ain't nowhere to be, but I gotta get there fast. There's a cold beer calling my name, feel a good time coming, got a new song humming, and the sunset's doing this thing. Feeling lucky as a 7, yeah, sometimes heaven is a pocket full of payday green. And my baby putting sugar on me, yeah, it's sure been a pretty damn good day. And there's a cold beer calling my name, yeah. Woo. calling my name. Feel a good time coming, got a new song humming, and the sunset's doing its thing. Feeling lucky as a 7-year. Sometimes heaven is a pocket full of payday dream. And my baby putting sugar on me. Yeah, it's sure been a pretty damn good day. And there's a cold beer calling my name. It's calling my name. Cold beer calling my name. It's calling my name. Come on. Yeah. I'm gonna put a little chill in my weekend.
Yeah, I'm a turner. I turn pages all the time. Don't like where I'm at. 34 was bad, so I just turned 35. Yeah, I'm a keeper. I keep digging down for the deep. Like the records I'm playing, they might keep you waiting, but you know I'm gonna play 'em for keeps. And if the house just keeps on winning, I got a wild card up my sleeve. And if love keeps giving me lemons, I just mix them in my drink. And if the whole wide world stops singing and all the stars go dark, I'll keep a light on in my soul, keep a bluebird in my heart. Well, I'm a giver. Yeah, and I'm still giving 'em hell. Forgiving's pretty hard, so I made an art out of forgetting them well. Yeah, I'm a rhymer. I can turn 20 cents into a 10. And if I get confused and I start to lose, I rhyme a dime till it all makes sense. And if the house just keeps on winning, I got a wild card up my sleeve. And if love keeps giving me lemons, I just mix them in my drink. And if the whole wide world stops singing and all the stars go dark, I turn the light on in my soul and keep the bluebird in my heart. And if the house just keeps on winning, I got a wild card on my sleeve. And if love starts giving me lemons, just mix them in my drink. And if the whole wide world stops singing and all the stars go dark, I'll keep a light on in my soul, keep a bluebird in my heart. I'll keep a light on in my soul, keep a bluebird in my heart. Keep a bluebird in my heart. And the bluebird
Touching down from a 6-night honeymoon, sun-kissed kiss, still drunk on love. Went from all-inclusive margaritas in Malibu to praying we could pay rent this month. That doormat says welcome home, but I think it's wherever I'm with you. It's more than some bricks and stone. No, there ain't nothing gentle as a summer sunrise. They say it's where the heart is. Well, mine's with you, babe. Long as I got your hand, I'm fine. Could be white brick and picket fences, or some busted AC hotel room. It's all picture perfect if you're in it. No, it don't get much better than home sweet. You and me ain't got much, but we got all we need. Wherever the wind blows, wherever this life goes, baby, all I know ain't nothing like home sweet. You and me, home sweet. You and me. Quarter acre in a two-bed farmhouse, Polaroid kiss with a red soul sign.
Council Grand Falls-Windsor meeting on March 18th. First of all, I'll call the meeting to order, and we'll look for a motion to approve the agenda. Moved by Councillor Hiscock, seconded by Councillor Knoll. Any discussion on the agenda? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Okay. The adoption, we do have two sets of minutes to adopt, one February 18th and the other February 26th. So first I'll call for a motion to accept the minutes of February 18th. Moved by Councillor Little, seconded by Councillor Dwyer. Any discussion on the first set of minutes? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Motion carried. And the second set of minutes, again, I'll look for a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Dwyer, seconded by Councillor Knoll. Any discussion on the second set of minutes? All those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Motion carried. I should mention that Councillor Cody is not with us this evening. She is attending some Federation of Canadian Municipalities meetings, which she sits on the board for that, as well as being M&L president, so she was unable to make it and sends her regrets. Okay, we move on to Public Works and Development, particularly Public Works Buildings and Facilities. We do have a couple of resolutions there, and I'll ask Councillor Dwyer to take care of that, please.
Mayor, a decision is required as to whether council will support the recommendation to reallocate the remaining funds from the previous CCBF agreement. And I propose Town of Grand Falls-Windsor approves the recommendation to reallocate the surplus from 99-2021-7328, new traffic light and intersection at Cromer Avenue and Pinsent Drive of $2,400, and 99-2022-7732, installation of storm sewer infrastructure on Harmsworth Drive of $5,921 towards 99-2022-7655, water and sewer engineering design. This is an increase of $7,691 to this project, making the new total amount $455,873.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Dwyer, seconded by Councillor Little. Any discussion on that resolution? Councillor Dwyer.
Thank you. Just maximizing funding use, really. We're just closing off the old agreement and allowing the department to concentrate on water and sewer engineering design.
Yeah, mostly housekeeping, more than anything. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Resolution passed. Okay, the next resolution, Councillor Dwyer, when you're ready, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council's asked to determine whether to approve exploit search and rescue's request to utilize additional town-owned land at the depot for operational purposes. Approval will enable search and rescue to enhance their emergency response capabilities while ensuring the use of municipal property remains consistent with town policies and operational needs. So I propose that council approves the request for exploit search and rescue to use additional town-owned land at the depot, and as recommended by the Department of Public Works and Development.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Dwyer, seconded by Deputy Mayor Brown. Any discussion on the second resolution? Councillor Dwyer.
Thanks, Mayor. Exploit Search and Rescue recently took possession of an airboat, and they refer to it as an invaluable piece of equipment to their operations. And they're looking to use town-owned land that's located at the depot for to house the airboat. Newfoundland Search and Rescue Association would prefer to have the airboat centrally located, and so if they can add a storage bay at the rear of their building, it can be stored there. They consulted with George Saunders, and he said it's no problem. It just means moving a fence line 8 feet back. So certainly be great to have that housed here in Grand Falls-Windsor, and great for their operation.
Yeah, no, for sure. And as always, I guess, is an opportunity to thank our search and rescue folks who do such a great job, not only here but across the province. They're called on quite often. And in this case, this is permission to use land. It's not, any land that the search and rescue will own. It will remain town land, but as Councillor Dwyer said, the new equipment and having that stored inside is a big advantage, and it is also good to have that stored here in Central. Any other discussion or comment on that? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Contrary-minded? Resolution passed. Public Works and Development, Planning and Development. We do have 4 resolutions by my count there. And Councillor Hiscock, when you're ready, you can begin those, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council approval is required to proceed with the acquisition of Lot 290A, Grenfell Heights, from Boyd Langdon at the agreed-upon purchase price of $75,518. The acquisition will support the town's long-term residential development plan by incorporating this 1.22-hectare property into the future growth strategy. And I propose that Council approves the purchase of Lot 290A, Grenfell Heights, for $75,518 and direct staff to finalize the purchase agreement with the owner under the agreed terms and conditions.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Hiscock, seconded by Councillor Knoll. Any discussion on the first resolution?
Thank you, Mayor. The town previously identified this land as strategic for residential expansion. A road reserve adjacent to the property enhances accessibility and connectivity to existing and future developments. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, no, it's clear. I think, there's a lot of land in that area that could be used in future development, particularly residential, and something that is wise to do is to get that land while we can and continue to open up more opportunities. Any other discussion on that? Okay. Got a mover and a seconder. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Contrary-minded? Resolution passed. When you're ready, Councillor Hiscock, resolution number 2, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council's decision is required on whether to approve a rezoning request for land near Lincoln Road to accommodate a proposed multi-unit apartment development. The current zoning destination include public use, commercial general, and potentially some recreational open space land. The request is to rezone the applicable area to allow for residential apartment use. Additionally, the town will need to consider the future acquisition of adjacent Crown land for complete development of this proposal. And Mayor, I propose that Council approve the initiation of the rezoning process for the former 63 Club area on Lincoln Road for public use, commercial general, and recreation open space land to RM-2 high-density multi-unit residential zone for an apartment development.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Hiscock, seconded by Councillor Little. Any discussion on that second resolution? Councillor Hiscock.
Thank you, Mayor. The developer has submitted a proposal for a new apartment complex near Lincoln Road. The complex is expected to include 60 apartment units, along with necessary parking and infrastructure. The current zoning of the land does not permit apartment developments, necessitating a rezoning amendment, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Hiscock. Again, I think pretty clear there that area is an ideal location for more housing, which we desperately need, and look forward to hopefully pushing that in the right direction. Any other comment or discussion on that second resolution? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Resolution passed. Councillor Hiscock, Resolution 3, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council's approval is required for the discretionary use application to permit a domestic sawmill at 469 Grenville Heights in the rural residential RR1 zone under the town's development regulations 2022-2032. And I propose, Mayor, that council approve the discretionary use application for a domestic sawmill at 469 Grenville Heights as no objections or concerns were received during the public consultation period.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Hiscock, seconded by Councillor Knoll. Councillor Hiscock, you want to provide more info on that?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. The town has received an application from John Sevier for the operation of domestic sawmill at 469 Grenville Heights. As per the town of Grand Falls-Windsor Development Regulations 2022-2032, this use is discretionary in the rural residential RR1 zone. In accordance with the town's policy, a notice was sent to adjacent property owners and posted on the town's website and social media platforms. The public was provided with an opportunity to submit objections or representations before March the 10th, 2025. The Public Works and Development Department has confirmed that no objections or concerns were received within the consultation period.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion on that resolution? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Resolution passed. Okay, we have resolution, the fourth one there. Councillor Hiscock, when you're ready, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council's direction whether or not to proceed with the Section 15 review of Municipal Plan Amendment Number 16, 2025, and Development Regulations Amendment Number 21, 2025. The proposed amendments involve redesignating and rezoning land between Tulip Drive and Ogilvy Street to facilitate multi-unit residential development specifically. Municipal Plan Amendment Number 16, 2025 changes the future land use designation from natural open space, commercial, and public use to urban residential. Development Regulations Amendment Number 21, 2025 rezones the same land from conservation, commercial general, public use, and single-unit urban residential, RS3, to residential high-density multi-unit residential zone, RM-2. These amendments aim to optimize existing infrastructure and accommodate additional housing needs within the community. And I propose, Mayor, that Council approves proceeding with the Section 15 review of Municipal Plan Amendment Number 16, 2025, and Development Regulations Amendment Number 21, 2025.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Hiscock, seconded by Councillor Little. Councillor Hiscock?
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Mayor, the amendments are intended to facilitate multi-use residential development between Tulip Drive and Ogilvy Street by redesignating and rezoning land for higher density housing. This will enable more efficient use of existing municipal infrastructure while addressing housing demands in Grand Falls-Windsor. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, no, thank you. Any other discussion on that resolution? Yeah, Councillor Little.
At one point there, I mentioned conservation area, and we were talking a little bit before there, and it's not actually a conservation area as such, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's actually a natural open space. So sometimes when that word conservation area gets put out there, it kind of changes the way people look at things, but it's actually not a conservation area. It's actually just a natural open space.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not a protected area, and I guess, the Director, you can clarify that if there's anything you'd like to say on that.
Yeah, one map is the land use, future land use, and it's noted as natural open space, and it includes different types of land zones. And the other map is the land use zone map, so that's where it's called conservation. But conservation can be used for future development. It's just it was left alone at the time, right?
Yeah. And I feel like I say this a lot now, but this is one of those things in the rezoning process that is just that. It remains in the process right now. Nothing has been finalized in that area, and people will have an opportunity to attend a public consultation if required. I would assume that'd be sometime in the near future, would it not? Is there one scheduled for that area yet?
Not
quite yet.
Not quite yet.
But within the
Gotta
next
wait
couple
until
of
after the
months.
Section 15 review is complete.
Okay. Yeah, so keep, anybody who's interested in that, always keep an eye out because, again, there are sometimes misconceptions and misunderstandings around that, and we are not approving anything at this point and are open to all feedback, as always. Councillor Dwyer?
Just so everyone is aware, this Section 15 review is by the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs, and they're going to determine if it is in compliance with their provincial planning regulations and policies. So that's the next step in the process, and there will be an ability for residents who are impacted to attend that public meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion on that resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Resolution passed. Move on to corporate services. We have one resolution there, equipment tender, and Councillor Knoll is going to take care of that in the absence of Councillor Cody for us. When you're ready, sir.
This is decisions required of council, and I propose that council award the tender for snowmaking equipment to HKD Snowmakers Canada in the amount of $74,035.51. Yeah, okay. It's my first time, so
Yeah,
as far as we
okay.
go with that.
So it's
for
been
now.
moved by Councillor Knoll
Yes.
and seconded by Councillor Little. Any discussion on that? I guess, Councillor Knoll, you can go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mayor. The town issued a tender, number 2521-1202, to procure snowmaking equipment, which is funded under the COA agreement, and the tender closed on February 26, 2025. There was only one bid received from HKD Snowmakers Canada in the amount of $77,208.30, which was under our projected budget of $79,832. And just let the town know, or the residents know, that this snowmaking equipment really only cost the town $6,000, so we're money well spent there. It says the addition of snowmaking equipment will enable Exploit Outdoor Activity Center, which we didn't get to use a whole lot this summer, or the winter, sorry, to avail of the cold temperatures, hopefully in the near futures. We're just dependent upon storms here in Central, and there's evidence a terrible year for snow here in Central, but this equipment will allow us to make the snow, and hopefully the residents of Grand Falls-Windsor will get to enjoy that hill that we so look forward to. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just to add on to that, snowmaking equipment for really, $6,000 is a small price, but even if it were more than that, to look at the value of snowmaking equipment based on the climate here in recent years, we do have a beautiful winter facility there with snowshoeing and cross-country skiing and a sliding hill that hasn't been used a whole lot because of the lack of snow. So we certainly hope to get great use out of that, and obviously that will lead to high participation from the community in activities during the winter months, which is sometimes difficult to find. Any other comments or questions about that? Okay. We got a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Resolution passed. Okay, we'll move into other business. I'm not sure who's up first tonight, so we'll get Councillor Knoll and we'll go from the clockwise.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to take a little minute just to, this time of year, speak about Irma, if I may, just take a little minute of council's time. Just let people know that last year we had 45 tours at the Salmon Center. There's 45 buses of people from other places who came to Grand Falls-Windsor, traveled across the Old Mill Bridge and spent some time at Salmon Center. This year we got 61 tours. Well, we got 61 last year. We got 45 tours booked already for the 2025 season. So, I mean, post-COVID, it's important that we get back to the tourism aspect here in Central. And, the Salmon Center is just a phenomenal place to spend a bit of time. Sorry, sir, if I'm hitting that mic on you, Jeff, again, but, right? You know, again, tours are up, revenues are up. There's a lot of things happening over there. We've got some really nice displays being created, which will be in place for this coming summer. The chairlift, the accessibility has always been a huge issue. Downtime up and, you know, back and forth with the wheelchair and ramp, et cetera. That's hopefully to be remedied for this year coming forward. We just did an expansion over there. There's new bathrooms. We can accommodate a lot more guests. You know, the gift shop has been revamped. Tremendous amount of work just on the facility in and of itself. But again, there's partnerships. ACOA's in here. Memorial University's in there. I mean, we're speaking in, you know, $1 million+ worth of research just on the watershed in and of itself, and, you know, how many salmon can the exploits watershed hold. And, you know, when we talk as an angler speaking, when we talk about, you know, 30,000 salmon coming through, and the pulse ripples across Newfoundland, and we've got anglers coming from all over, and, you know, Sanger Park is full to the rim. You know, like last year we had a bust in the season, and we had July was, you know, just about 100% capacity. Then it dropped off immediately with the salmon. So if we can increase our salmon runs, you know, it bodes well for Grand Falls-Windsor. So there's a lot of research on the go to determine the actual amount of salmon that this watershed can hold. A few other little points here. This German television crew have been over. They've got a documentary to be prepared for German TV about the Exploits River and the salmonid opportunity here in central Newfoundland. We've got an author from the West Coast. She's doing watersheds from each province, and she chose the Exploits watershed for the Newfoundland part of her book that she's writing. You know, we get $1.2 million project with Memorial University, and Dr. Craig Purchase doing a whole lot of telemetry research, where we've had some former students of mine who now work with TFO, and we've put in little radio taggers. We've got devices scattered throughout our watershed, recording where are salmon going, what times of year, do they travel back and forth. So the more information that we have, the better decisions that we can make. So I just thought, being spring, and although we should be snowmobiling, talking about snow, but it is spring-like and people are thinking about those things. Just want to take a little second, if I could, and speak about Irma. Thank you there.
That's great. And before you go ahead, if I could, just to add on to that, I mean, obviously, Irma and the Salmon Interpretation Center remains our anchor tourism, you know, piece for the community, and we've got a lot of things going on around that. You know, when you got the zip lining now, and we have the whitewater rafting close by, and you have, you know, Sanger Park you mentioned. And I don't believe that, well, the facility was beautiful before. Talking to Terry Paul, by the way, and he was giving me some detail on some of these new signs and that, which are going to be fantastic. But the other side of it is the sustainability of the stocks themselves.
Absolutely.
And how important is that? Because we've talked about this multiple times, but I don't believe we, as a town, have maximized at all the value of our river potentially when it comes to tourism. And if you don't have the stocks healthy, then you have nothing, right? So there is a big opportunity there, and great work by Irma. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to add on to that.
No, it's important to point those points out. You know, I tell people, and they say, well, Grand Falls-Windsor, I said, well, we got great people and a world-class river. So we just have to maintain that. Other than that, for me, I just want to take a second to congratulate Exploits Valley High 3A basketball team. You know, won gold the weekend at 3A. It just bodes well for their coaches, you know, Nathan Sullivan and Brian Cook, and the teacher sponsor, Robin Powell, about if you've got a dream. And I mean, I know Nathan from going way back has always been, you know, he's just diehard at this, and taking the students and bringing them up to different tournaments and playing against better teams, which you know that are better teams, and that's the only way that they're going to get better, was by playing better teams and work together as a group. And you know, he just sold the whole idea of buy-in, and the fruits came to fruition this weekend with gold. So I just want to say congratulations, boys. great job.
Yeah, no, great achievement for sure. And, you know, I know Brian and Nathan personally. My son Alex was a basketball player for years, and so I've had the experience and pleasure to be around them. And what Brian has done for the community basketball-wise and for all those young people over the years through his programs and that, and his coaching. And Nathan, I mean, I don't know how many people may know, he's actually a town employee, but he's a great coach, and he's someone that the kids really gravitate to and they look up to, and you know, he's in his element for sure. So big win, and I think they got a little bit of a celebration at the school tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon, 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I'm sure that the basketball community is welcome to attend if they want to celebrate with the team. And Councillor Hiscock.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of weekends ago, we had the opportunity, Grand Falls-Windsor hosted Special Olympics on Newfoundland curling spiel. Councillor Noel was there, and myself and Deputy Mayor were there. And our exploits Hurricanes won the gold medal. Just great tournament, excellent sportsmanship was unreal. Colleen Ryan and her crew did fabulous job. And the winners, of course, were Tony Kritzis, Margaret McNeil, Josh Gardner, and Megan Price, and the coaches, Pauline Hennessy and Joe Tremlett. Of course, longtime coaches and devotees to the Special Olympics, but great job, one and all, for those. Also, Mr. Mayor, I'm just looking at my notes now so I don't forget. March the 5th, MP Clifford Small presented King Charles III coronation medals to some of the residents of Grand Falls-Windsor, former residents of Grand Falls-Windsor. Some of the ones that received the medals: Roger Gooby, Mike Goodger, Wayne Thomas, Peggy Bartlett, Shelley Wolfrey, and Jeffrey Watkins, and also Chief Warrant Officer Stephen Waugh, MMCD. So he has also the Military Medal for Merit and service to his country, and also the Canada Decoration. So well done, one and all, for sure, with that. And also, Mr. Mayor, Captain Mike Goodger, sorry, I got it wrong, Captain Mike Mackey, who's our fire inspector, on March the 24th, next Monday, we'll be celebrating 40 years service to the Fire Rescue Service of Grand Falls-Windsor. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mike for his many years of dedication to the town of Grand Falls-Windsor. And just in closing, Mayor, if I may, we lost a longtime resident of our town Sunday, Joan Budgell, passed. And a lot of people would know Joan for many years in the family. Just a sweet lady. She worked at the Grand Falls House cooking that. She catered a lot of different things. She's heavily involved in United Church and the women's organization. So condolences to the family. We lost a beautiful woman in our town. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I guess, you know, thinking about curling, I should mention that that team won the national curling. So they're probably toying with the teams here in the province, you know. But they do a great job at that for sure. And it's easy mistake to make on Captain Mike Goodger, because Mike he was also a captain in the fire department. But Mike Mackey with 40-year service, wow, congratulations to him. Councillor Little.
Thank you, Mayor. We have some upcoming hockey tournaments here in April. It's a busy time, actually. So on April 10th to the 13th, we have the U13 Atlantics here. These are the best young hockey players in Atlantic Canada. I remember when I was 12 years old and I played in the U13 Atlantics. It was called Pee Wee Atlantics at the time. There was a kid there. He was small. He was number 9. He went on to have a pretty good career after. He changed to number 87 and then went on to play with Pittsburgh Penguins and Team Canada. But he played in that tournament against me, so you don't know. Like, it could have been me. Or you might see the next Sidney Crosby in our stadium from 10th to the 13th. You really don't know. After that, during Easter week, we have the U13 provincials from the 21st to the 23rd, and then the U11 provincials from the 25th to the 27th. That's during the Easter week. That's the 2 provincial tournaments that we're hosting. And then we have all our other teams that are going to different communities for their provincials. And we wish all our teams good luck, of course, and hopefully bring home some medals for us and make us proud. It'll make us proud either way, I'm sure. Besides that, we're hoping to have our Salmon Festival announcement soon. We're still working on that, so people can anxiously wait for that. Hopefully it'll be in the not too distant future. Thank you.
Yeah, no, Salmon Festival's been great the last few years, that's for sure, you know, excluding the COVID years, of course. We've had a successful transition, I guess, to a community festival, and great to see a lot of people enjoying that. And of course, this year, we do have some celebrations going on too with Gordon Pinsent and a statue that the town has been working towards. So with that is a good segue to Councillor Dwyer, who's been directly involved with that project.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, there was a story on NTV this past week on the statue, and they interviewed the sculptor, Morgan McDonald, and you can see the pride in his face and in his voice when he speaks about it. So we're definitely excited to see that, and it will be unveiled on Gordon's birthday during Salmon Festival. So. The Health Coalition, the Healthcare Coalition met this past Thursday. We had a couple of special guests attending. Tracy Foss, VP of HR, was there, and Karen Pearden, who is the new link worker with the family care team, was there talking about what she is doing in her new role with the family care team. Interesting. She's a community connector, so she's going to be working with seniors as part of NL Seniors, and a position that is recommended by them and endorsed by the family care team. But they're, she's going to be looking at health and social care as well. So social prescribing, really, and trying to connect people, find access to community resources and that sort of thing. So great to hear. I wanted to let everyone know that the Central Music Festival is starting this week. And in other years, when the Kiwanis used to run it, they would have a book and a program. So if people are wondering where to get a schedule, it's centralmusicfestival.ca. You can download a schedule there, and it's very well laid out. And it starts this Saturday. Tuesday is the family and friends evening. A lot of people enjoy that evening. Thursday is the Rose Bowl, and Thursday evening is the highlight show. So definitely looking forward to that. And a lot of people in our community involved in the music festival, and glad to see that it's continuing. Thank you.
Kiwanis did a wonderful job on that music festival for decades, and like a lot of service organizations, I guess, they kind of age out these days because the young people are not getting involved as much, but, some pillars of the community were involved in that festival over the years and really built it into a great success, and it'd be a shame for it to, so thanks to the people who are helping that continue for sure. Deputy Mayor Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of notes. Sparkling Blaze Figure Skating Club got your big show coming up, and tickets go on sale this Saturday. The theme of the show this year is Proud to be Canadian. So fitting, given the President of the United States trying to take us over. Make you laugh and sometimes make you think, because he's a dangerous man, in my opinion. But tickets go on sale, and check our Facebook page for the rest of the details there. And on April 15th, May, there's an important meeting at the Classic Theatre at 1 Understanding Dementia, which is a town-sponsored event. I acknowledge Stan Singh for setting it all up. And we expect a full house there. Dementia is absolutely a terrible disease. It affects a lot of families. And it'll be a good session for caregivers as well. To attend that event. So April 15th at 1 o'clock, we got 4 excellent speakers that will be highlighting the issues associated with dementia, and we encourage members of the community who have been affected by that, and others who are just interested, to come along to the Classic on April 15th at 1 o'clock. Thank you, Mayor.
And there'll be 4 speakers, I
4
believe,
speakers,
at that, 4 professionals in the field that'll be talking about different areas, and there's no charge, right?
No, absolutely no charge.
Yeah, so, hopefully we see a full crowd there, because
Yes.
they are valuable events that we've been holding for seniors, and I'm glad to hear it is at Classic, because there's times that we've had it at smaller venues, and of course the complaint was a lot of people wanted to come that couldn't.
Right.
So now we should be able to squeeze everybody in, but we'd
Right.
still like to turn people away just because we want to have it full, right?
And it's worth also noting that obviously healthcare is a provincial government issue, but the town of Grand Falls-Windsor takes the initiatives, as Councillor Dwyer would know, to ensure that the word gets out there, the message gets out there, and if we got to sponsor more events, we will, and in the future. So thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, no, thank you. I guess there's not in danger of excluding Councillor Cody tonight, because she's not here. I've been doing that lately. I don't have much. I just wanted to mention, a couple of safety things for the community, and we talked about the springtime, spring weather, snowmobiles, that sort of thing. So I caution people now to be very careful around the waterways. You see a lot of ice is thawing or gone altogether, and it's not a safe time to be on ponds. And also, we unfortunately had another death related to ATVs in the Gander area. A young girl, 14 years old, lost her life in a side-by-side. And, we've talked about it a lot, and I know the province has been forced to talk about it a lot because there's been so many accidents, both fatal and, life-changing accidents all over. I'm not sure why there's not more done to try to prevent those, but the number one thing for our community, I think, is for the people who own these bikes, because the 14-year-old usually doesn't own a side-by-side, and they're not supposed to be driving it, right? There's a certain age in that. So people, your kids, sure, you want them to have a good time and that, but letting them go on these big machines and not knowing where they're going and getting in situations that may be potentially fatal. I saw a young person on a machine, a big quad, like the quad would look big if I was on it. That's how big it was, and I'd say he was 11 years old at most, by himself. So, just think twice about doing that, and make sure that you accompany kids when they want to use those machines, and encourage them to get all the training and safety and that they can before they legally get on those bikes as well. And lastly, I guess Deputy Mayor mentioned the Canadian Pride, and I think the sentiment is shared quite widely. I know that one of the things that's coming out of this that could potentially be positive is a opportunity for some businesses, and particularly tourism. And, Councillor Noel mentioned earlier Irma, and we have a lot of tourism in the province, but I suspect this year it'll be even greater. And, we want the entrepreneurial spirit to be alive and well in our community, and the town is certainly willing to work with or help individuals who would like to do things to attract more people to this community, and we can benefit from that, because we do have a beautiful community here. I mentioned some of the amenities earlier, and I think you're going to see a lot of not only Newfoundland Labradorians traveling the province, but people from all over the world coming here, in addition to what already has, which we do get a lot of visitors anyhow. So we want to make sure that we're ready for that. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I'll call for a motion to adjourn. Councillor Dwyer, and seconded by Councillor Little. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? We'll see you next time.